The Lagos State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, as the name connotes, has the responsibility to plan, devise, and implement the state policies on works and infrastructure development. This mandate, driven by the vision to be excellent in sustainable infrastructure development and service delivery, is critical to the six-pillar themes agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Obafemi Hamzat's administration. It aligns with the first pillar, that is transportation and traffic management. While the works component essentially involves the construction projects for ministries, departments, and agencies, the infrastructure part relates more to the construction of roads and bridges.
Mr. Governor said it was a state of emergency, declaring a state of emergency on the roads. And we sat down and said, how can we achieve this? Given the capacity of what PwC had. And the only way was synergy between, we agreed that except a synergy between Ministry of Works and that of PwC, there was no way we were going to be able to leap on giant strides. And so we had a collabo between Ministry of Works and that of Public Works Corporation. It might also interest you to note that it was not just that collabo. We decided to do some quality assurance on what was coming out from our PwC. So there is a lab in place now that ensures that it's quality assurance on the things that come out. There's been a lot of capacity development. They are, as an agency, they are really harnessing what the strategy values and the vision of this administration is what is seen reflected in what PwC and Ministry of Works is doing. The synergy cannot be better. The two right now, I think they're on total leap.
The importance of roads to a state like Lagos cannot be overemphasized. As the economic and commercial capital of Nigeria, with over 20 million highly mobile people and the highest car density of 264 vehicles per kilometer, roads can be described as the oxygen on which Lagos State breathes. Due to the strategic importance of roads to the growth and development of the state, the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Obafemi Hamzat is making huge investment in construction of roads to reduce traffic bottleneck, shorten travel time, save productive man hours, and facilitate socio-economic and commercial exchanges.
For my colleagues and for our partners, it's a strong point. It's a strong point that when we give commitment, we will stick to it and we will make sure that we deliver on those commitments. A lot of people still don't believe us. A lot of people think that we're still joking. But this is a strong point for us to make to other people that once we make commitments, we will ensure that we follow through the commitments and we'll come back and deliver on those commitments because we are committed to it.
As the administration marks 1 year in office, it has recorded commendable achievements in upgrading and expanding the road network for the benefit of Lagosians. This is evidence in the resumption of works on all ongoing projects such as Penn Cinema Flyover and Lagos Badagry Expressway.
This road has been in a deplorable condition and we have been suffering so much that even our motorists to board vehicles here have been very, very difficult as a promoter of this community. And most of the time we used to have a standstill situation of vehicles because of the capsizing of these trucks and every other heavy vehicles. But today what we are experiencing is a U-turn. I think we are having a relief through the present government that the condition of people are applauding the present development. As you can see, vehicles are moving easily, unlike before.
Yeah, it's been fine because earlier before now, it's been very worse and bad. But I thank God and I thank our government for doing such, easing our movements, making our movements to be, in fact, to be very good. Yes, not as in before. I really thank God for him doing such.
It will be recalled that following the prolonged rainfall in 2019 and damage to roads, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu mobilized 8 multinational construction firms, besides the Lagos State Public Works Corporation, to undertake massive rehabilitation and upgrading of 116 roads spread across the state.
The rains were unusually long. The intensity also was never experienced before. And it's been predicted even down that it's even going to get worse than last year. So obviously the climate change is here. We don't need to shy away from it. But then we can do better. We can do better, we are more prepared now. There's been a lot of pothole fixing and patching already done. The idea that, oh, when it rains, you cannot actually walk or do, that's not true. You can do cold patch asphalt, but it comes as an expensive option. And so if you between a hot rolled asphalt and a cold patch asphalt, obviously the hot rolled asphalt is much cheaper for the states. What we have decided to do is, as much as possible during the good weather, get most of these roads done in hot rolled asphalt. And if there are potholes to be fixed in the rainy season, of course the jet patches are there, the cold patch is there, so we can always meet the demands. So that idea that, oh, we cannot walk in the rain, that people always said that, oh, this administration is, I think it's a thing of the past. Mr. Governor rightly said it to say Lagosians should be patient. As soon as the rain stop, we will come to fix the roads. And I'm happy to say that we have done a lot of those roads, and I'm sure Lagosians will bear witness to that, to say a lot of the roads have improved, just as also there's a lot of collaboration on the federal side.
The contractors moved to sites immediately as construction commenced on roads such as Agric Ishawo Road, Obadosumo Street, Oduduwa Road, Oduduwa Street, Oduduwa Crescent, Adekunle Fajoyi Road, Wex Road, and Oba Akran Avenue. The scope of the rehabilitation efforts also covered the repair of the failed sections of Lekki-Ekpe Expressway from Abraham Adesanya Roundabout to Eleko Junction, Lagos-Badagry Expressway from Eric Moore to Okukumaiko, and Yaya Abata to College Road.
Strategically, we had some ideas, and that was to say there's some roads that are strategic within Lagos, that once you take them where they go, because they carry a large volume of traffic, if they can always be motorable, because the majority of the vehicles always ply those roads. And so we came on board, and then we decided to redesign those roads in rigid pavement. Those three roads were Oba Akran, Ikosi Road, and Oba Shekumade. They were designed in rigid pavement, waiting for the budget to come and let us see if we can take the leap. But like, as you all know, there is a gap in infrastructure funding. The budget, you know what the budgetary size is. This ministry has only just about 100.5 billion out of it. A typical road like Oba Akran, at that estimate, the consultant's estimate was about 4.5 billion. Oba Shekumade is also about 4.5 billion. So you ask yourself, if those two roads will take about 10% of your budget, what then happens to other roads? So we're thinking out of the box, and we're seeing to say, we'll take this in our stride. Can we take, rather than take two, can we take one? So Oba Shekumade is one of them. And what's the criteria for it? You look at each road, the criteria for choosing all of these roads is about connectivity. The intermodal transport system in Lagos. If you can link a BRT to a jetty, so your road, if it goes into a BRT lane, and then from the BRT lane it goes to the jetty. So the whole idea is, if you have the Cowrie card, Lagos State government now has introduced the Cowrie card, which will come out very soon, where you can use that same bus pass, it's typical like the Oyster card that you have in England, that you take that card and you can actually get on the BRT bus, and then you can also use the lag ferry. You can come down and embark and get to a jetty, and then get a lag ferry jetty, and then disembark, and then link up into another BRT route. So that's the old way of saying, let's try to use the intermodal system. So the connectivity around those ones. So that's the criteria for choosing which road will be done as new. Aside from the ongoing aggressive maintenance of all of the other inner routes, but for the new ones, that will be the criteria. So you come and say Oba Shekumade because there is a jetty that goes there. So if you pick Ijede, there's a jetty around Ijede. If you pick, there's a road called Ishefun Camp Davis. Ishefun Camp Davis is a long road. It's in Alimosho. If you take that long road, it leads to the end of the jetty. Thus, people from Alimosho can take that road and you can get to the jetty. So when you say you are picking this road, that's what we have at the back of our mind to say this is what the road will be.
The commitment to developing the road infrastructure was again demonstrated with the flag-off of the reconstruction and upgrading of strategic roads in Ikorodu. The project comprised 6.05 kilometers Phase 1 road from Itamaga to Ewu-Elepe town, 7.8 kilometers Owutu Agric Ishawo Road Phase 1, and Bola Tinubu Igbobo Imota Road. The Victoria Island Lekki Traffic Circulation Project on Oniru axis was also flagged off the same day. The project, being undertaken by the Lagos State Government and Access Bank under the Public Infrastructure Improvement Partnership, would ease traffic around Victoria Island, Oniru, and Lekki Access.
There's a new road that is coming up, and I think that's a plus for all of us and for this administration. Mr. Governor and Mr. Deputy, while brainstorming, was like, this regional road is it's critical to this team's agenda. It's an alternative to the current Lekki Ekpe Expressway. And at the same time, it's like a step in for the 4th Mainland Bridge. So one of the things that we did was to say, let the best of the best compete. And so we set it into competition and then got offers. We've analyzed, and we're almost getting to the stage of awarding to say who the contractor will be. The estimated construction period for that road, which is about 9.4 kilometers, is 18 months. It's a road that is parallel. It's a 3-lane dual carriage expressway that is parallel to the present Lekki Ekpe Expressway, and then terminates at Freedom Roundabout. So that whole idea is that people from VGC, it begins at VGC, so the road begins at VGC and terminates at Freedom Island, at the end of Freedom Island. That's road 95B, Freedom Island. And then people can actually connect there back again into the express. So it's a detour. If you don't have cost to go from the Lekki Ekpe Expressway or from the beginning, if you are in VGC, you just take that as an alternative. So you have like slip roads at different villages. If you are at Majiron, there's a slip road that will take you in. If you are around Kauri Estate, there's a slip road that will take you in. If you are, so all the strategic estates around there, you can just ramp up on that bridge. So it's something that is going to be awarded shortly, just as we also have the 4th Mainland Bridge on our front burner. That's something that the bid was opened in December. We've opened it. The expression of interest was opened in December, and we had 52 people turn in their offers, of which 51 people, and then 32 shortlisted. Of the 32 now, 14 are of Chinese firms. You have 14 Chinese. You have three Spanish. You have 1 Mexican. You have 7 Nigerians. It's a mixed bag. You've had people like Boa Cement, the Boa Group. They were amongst the 32 people. And so you also had the dredging, you had Westminster dredging also come up. And so what that means is that you also had people like Julius Berger, as well as the Chinese coming. So that tells you that we're in for a good time. Lagos will be better for it, because you are now open to competition. It's something that is internationally bidded. And then let's see the results. Let the best of the best compete and give Lagos what it rightly deserves.
It is a fact that the efforts of the administration on roads construction are yielding fruits. For instance, 31 network of roads extending from Okwoba to Kolintin and Ajigunle axes were completed and commissioned. These provided interconnectivity within 4 distinct and adjoining communities. In the first axis, the roads constructed include Odualayo, Funsho Oyemi, Aremulawal, Bola Onibiyo, Olaleye, Apostolic Faith, Mustafa Hassan Street, and Alhaji Lukman Avenue.
Then, like about 4 or 5 years ago, this place was so rough. Whenever the raining time like that, rainy season like that, everywhere we flooded. In fact, the motor cannot even pass this place. The children that are going to school cannot even go to school sometimes because of the rain.
The road was very bad. It was not untied. But now we thank the Lagos State Government for the new road construction. We are very grateful. And I would say the traffic is more lesser than before. We benefited a lot because of the road construction. The road is now going on well, no more traffic, no more fighting on the road, and we appreciate the street lights as well.
The state of this road was so bad, but now we can see the difference. Now you can see free flow traffic, and every movement was so good than before. If it is before now, you can see everybody was standing and waiting for one another. Sometimes they may quarrel by abusing each other, but now anybody can find a way to put their head. But we thank government of Lagos State for what they are doing.
The second axis comprises 11 roads and include Edun Alaron Road, Phase 1 and 2, Olorishade, Ahmadiyya, Olubukola, Ilori, and Social Crescents, including Abu Balogun, OMOTAYO, Ogundipe, Ileanu, Akinshola, Aderupoko, David Oladokun, and Oshota Streets.
Challenges we face, most especially the people living in this community during the construction, though it was very terrible, right? Because it was during the rainy season, so everywhere was muddy, nowhere to pass, everywhere was flooded, but all the same. But we give thanks to God for the better construction of the road. Since the road has been constructed, so the motorists have been going freely, the motorcycles, even the sales, even the shops at this area, at least everything has been improving since the road has been constructed. So we really give thanks to Lagos State government for their handwork. So they should just keep on doing the good work.
Now the difference is clear. At least now we can walk by this time. We can walk around. Not like before. By this time you can't see me outside. I will be inside my house because of the road and everything. And at least now you can see to yourself too. Look at the street lights and everything.
For the third axis, constructed roads are Adenekan, Rabiu, Amusan, Agbaje, Suberu, Adeyola, Ganiolade Streets, along with Home Science, Segun Adetiba, Ojuelegba, and Unity Roads.
Before and after the construction of this road has been pathetic, not motorable. We face a lot of drainage problem, and then by God's grace they remember Unity Club Road, and the road, they first of all construct the drainages on both sides, and then later. So after the completion of this road, we are enjoying it, and business is moving as usual. Before, we find it difficult for motorbike to come in because of the state of the road. But now we take bike from our nearest bus stop, which is Alaoko, down in. When it comes to business, the business is moving. As you can see, there's a lot of construction, a lot of shop construction, so that business is moving this time around. So people are parking from other communities down to our community. So we are enjoying the road. The only hazard that which we are begging the Lagos State to consider, if they can help us add a speed limit.
The network of roads captured in the fourth axis are Osho, Ude, Brown, Philip Majekodumi, and Hassan Makinde Streets, Santos Avenue, including Ajani, Adarijo, Tunjitela, and Joanna Olufowora Close.
We're just here to hand it over. It remains your property, it remains your asset, and you must keep it in good use. Make sure that you are your brother's keeper. It is no longer government, it is no longer Lausa, it is now in your possession. Try and maintain and manage it. Let's just keep it, right? And if you realize that any damage in the years to come, before it turns to a big major problem, raise through your honorable member of House of Assembly or your honorable member House of Rep or your community leaders. Let us get it in Alausa so that we can come and fix it.
Further to these, a network of inner city roads have also been completed in Shomolu local government area. This makes the local government an economically active area.
The street now is very, very fantastic now, very accessible now, unlike before. When it rains, during the time of rain, all the areas here are generally flooded. But now, everything has stopped. Many people are now erecting their shops in the front of their house, which implies that marketability will highly be encouraged here.
To support the residential and productive activities, Lagos State government awarded the construction of a network of 4 roads in the area to Messrs. Righteous Construction Company Nigeria Limited on 16th November 2017. Considering the economic and commercial importance of Shomolu, these roads have huge potentials in terms of their contributions to the development of the state. They have also added to the value of properties while improving travel time within the area.
The road was very, very bad before. Even here, there was hill where they here, where they reach under motor. So, but now it's very good now. Many people is enjoying the road now because it was not like this before. At least now, this place is more better.
Before, this street was very bad. That everybody know that water used to immediately rain started like this. Water used to enter everywhere for this street, which everybody know that water used to disturb in this street. But when I set my eyes on the list that they want to do this street, they want to construct this street, I was surprised that this street cannot be possible. But after then, I see that the work started again. They started doing the work until I see that the street was done. And then I don't even believe that the street can be like this. Most of the people that come to this street, they are saying, wow, so this street can be like this. So we appreciate our governor and our chairman local government, our House of Assembly, Olowo. So we appreciate all of them. So thank you and God bless everybody.
The completion of Aradagun Imeke Iworo Ajido Ekpeme Road is a major accomplishment of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration. The 6.65 kilometers two-lane single carriageway, made with interlocking pavement stones, starts from the end of Imeke Bridge to link Ajido, Iworo, and Ekpeme communities. The road has a 300-meter-long bridge and passes through swampy and sandy terrains. It forms part of the bypass to and from Badagry to link the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. This project brings great benefits to the people of Badagry and the various communities it passes through. Apart from providing access that is motorable, it is boosting trade, commerce, and investment by facilitating the exchange of goods and services within the axis. It has opened up the tourism potentials of the communities, increased property value, and ensure urban regeneration and renewal. Across Lagos State today, the administration has established visible presence that translates to positive impact on the lives of the people. This is in spite of the challenges that government confronted and overcame to make sure the set targets are met. It is heartwarming to know that the state government, under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, is working very hard to improve the lives of the people. Such commitment can not only be seen, but felt by the citizenry.
And I want to just tell Lagosians and reassure them that Lagos will get better for it. I would say take ownership of these assets. When they build them, take ownership of them. They are shared assets. You know, each time that I see, when I get viral uploads, when people say, oh, there's a manhole that has been removed somewhere, there's a street light that has been vandalized somewhere, there is a box culvert somewhere that is blocked and the water is overflowing. And I tell myself, these things didn't happen overnight. The manholes that was open there was probably stolen, removed by somebody. But the implication of it is that that manhole that was removed is going to be injurious to somebody who is going on the roadway. That street light that was vandalized with the cables cut or stolen is going to ensure that there is darkness somewhere, and then it will be an opportunity or a revenue for people to actually steal or to perpetrate any crime. So what we need to do as a citizenry is to take ownership of these assets. When you see people remove manholes, when you see them cutting cables, when you see people, mechanics and people repairing or servicing vehicles on asphalt surface, you see them pouring diesel on them, you need to be able to alert us. There are hotlines that PwC has. There are hotlines that Works has. And then we're also trying to make all of these sites be our monitors. When you see things going on indiscriminately, be able to just tell us and reach out to us and say, this is happening here. Let us be each other's keepers. Let us be monitors for ourselves. Let us take ownership of these shared assets. Because after all, they are taxpayers' money, they are your money, they are also mine. And it's only when we take ownership of them that we can sustain us, and then it will be useful to us.
It is also interesting to note that most of the 116 road projects have reached completion stage and are already being plied by drivers and pedestrians as they go about their daily activities. All these, without doubt, have not only brought great relief to Lagosians, they are evidence of the commitment of the administration to achieving the greater Lagos of our dreams.